Update. Team Baldoni believes that the judge is in error and they have the right to appeal, and they will appeal.
Justin wasn't even given a chance to tell his story. And for months, it was one of the most devastating things I have ever seen in my career.
Dear Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, how dare you? You claim you're all about women and safety and all of this, and you're allowing the agency to keep Jared Leto after these allegations, but Justin Baldoni is the issue? How can you sleep at night?
I think what we're witnessing now is Ryan Reynolds trying to distance himself as much as possible from his wife, and I bet you he's asking her not to post any photos with him at the moment.
Ryan, Blake, Ariel, they don't care about women and safety. They care about money. They care about money and what connections these people have.
When all of the sealed documents were released and you started to see what were Ryan Reynolds' true text messages, what was he really like? What were these text messages from Blake? What were they really like? It was all there in black and white.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Amelia Brown. And I have to tell you, this week the Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds story just got another twist, and honestly, this one raises more questions than it answers. So here's where we left off. A judge just ordered Justin Baldoni to pay $171,000 in attorney fees to the New York Times. And almost right on cue, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds show up in a brand new set of paparazzi photos across New York City. The timing? A little too perfect for a lot of people watching this closely. People magazine ran the story, and on the surface, it looked like just another casual celebrity sighting. But here's the interesting part: the article made a point of mentioning that Blake and Ryan were both carrying matching Hermes Birkin bags. Together, those bags were reportedly worth over $100,000. That's not exactly a small detail to highlight. To a lot of viewers, it felt less like a coincidence and more like a message. We're wealthy, we're fine, we're untouched by all this drama. But now look at this: despite the article framing it as a couple's outing, not a single photo actually showed them together. Blake was photographed alone. Ryan was photographed alone, in a separate set of images. The story told you it was one relaxed day out. The pictures told a completely different story, and people noticed Ryan's expression in particular. Some described it as distant, almost checked out, like he just wanted the cameras gone. A few commenters even joked that he looked more focused on totaling up the price of everyone's accessories than actually enjoying the walk. Which, fair or not, only added more fuel to the speculation about what's really going on between them.
I do remember this outfit that Ryan Reynolds is wearing here. He was wearing the same pants at Comic-Con where he was dressed up as Deadpool or Gene Pool, and I don't believe that Blake Lively was with him. There was no sign of her in San Diego, which is where Comic-Con is at.
Think about it this way: when a couple is genuinely comfortable together, you can usually tell. They're close, they're glancing at each other, they're relaxed. That's not what these photos showed. Instead, it was two people walking separately, both just happening to be carrying six-figure handbags. And ironically, that became the real headline: not the bags, not the price tag, but the simple fact that not one image showed them actually together. But that's not even the part that raised the most eyebrows. Buried in that same People magazine piece was a claim about Ryan Reynolds' future projects, specifically that Avengers: Doomsday was set to release on December 18th, and that Ryan would be appearing in it. Here's the problem: Marvel has never officially confirmed that casting. Not once. And that claim looks even shakier when you remember what happened at Comic-Con. Ryan showed up in a denim-style Deadpool outfit and jokingly asked Robert Downey Jr. on stage if there was room for him in Avengers: Doomsday. Downey's response? Reserved. No confirmation. Nothing that suggested this role was locked in.
It's in the can, bro. Look around you. Did you bump your head?
I see. So there's no additional photography, no overages, hot costs, maybe last-minute additions.
We keep making the movie until they pry it out of our hands.
So how did a magazine report something as fact that Marvel hasn't even announced? One theory floating around points to Blake Lively's publicist, Leslie Sloan. The speculation is that a press release may have included Ryan's supposed involvement in Doomsday, and the magazine simply ran with it without independently checking with Marvel first. And once you line it all up, the perfectly timed outing, the emphasis on the matching Birkin bags, And now this unverified Marvel claim, it starts to look less like a random sighting and more like a coordinated attempt to reshape the narrative. Rich, thriving, untouched by controversy. That was clearly the intended image. But that one shaky detail about Avengers, Doomsday, it undercut the whole thing. Because once you present something unconfirmed as fact, people start questioning everything else in the story too.
Confirmed.
I think we can definitely conclude that this story is planted by Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' team. What a blunder from People magazine that they didn't check the press release written by Leslie Sloan before they just printed it, thinking, why would we be the only ones who got this confirmed before it actually is?
Now here's where things get even more complicated. Blake and Ryan were also spotted together, this time at a Wrexham football match in New York City. If you don't know, Wrexham is the club Ryan co-owns, and it's genuinely one of his most well-liked ventures. Barely any controversy attached to it, so this should have been a simple feel-good appearance. Instead, it sparked a whole new wave of discussion. A fan video from the event started circulating online, and once people slowed the footage down frame by frame, they zeroed in on Ryan's body language. Some viewers claimed he looked uncomfortable, like he was subtly pulling away while Blake held onto him for photos. And this isn't an isolated moment. Critics say they've noticed a pattern: Blake and Ryan showing up to the same events, but consistently being photographed separately, which has led to a growing theory. Is Ryan intentionally creating distance between their public appearances? Some reports even suggest he may be trying to separate his own image from Blake's, while this controversy continues to play out.
Blake is hanging on to her husband like, save me, I have a famous husband, you should hire me again. And Ryan is like, get away from me, I'm not gonna get any work as long as people associate me with you.
But there's another layer to this story, and it might be the most serious one yet. For months now, critics have raised a pointed question about Ryan and Blake's public stance on women's safety and accountability. Because here's the contradiction. Their own talent agency, WME, still represents someone facing allegations that many consider even more serious than the ones against Justin Baldoni. Reports claim Ryan personally reached out to WME, pushing them to cut ties with Baldoni, framing it as a matter of ethics and protecting women on set. And WME reportedly did drop him. But that same agency has continued representing Jared Leto, and critics say that contrast raises real questions about consistency.
Jared Leto.
Our agency, WME, they are standing by Jared Leto despite all the disturbing SA allegations. Now, you got to remember, they immediately dropped Justin when Ryan asked them to. So when Ryan Reynolds wants to get someone fired...
That contrast became impossible to ignore after a recent BBC documentary featured multiple women making serious allegations against Leto. Critics immediately started comparing the two situations. Baldoni lost his representation almost immediately after allegations went public before anything was proven in court. Leto, despite renewed scrutiny after that documentary, is still with the agency. So why the difference? Critics argue it comes down to money. Leto's music career, his touring, his acting work, he's simply more valuable to WME's bottom line. Which raises an uncomfortable question. Is this really about consistent standards? Or is it about who's worth protecting financially?
It's clearly, if you're at WME, you have to be famous and bring in money. Otherwise, you're screwed. And I guess Jared's still probably bringing in money.
Some observers go a step further, suggesting that Ryan's influence and industry standing may have been exactly why WME acted so quickly with Baldoni. The theory is that Ryan anticipated the agency would move to protect its own reputation once the pressure got big enough, and it did. But when a reporter directly asked whether WME's internal client advisory committee was even reviewing the allegations against Leto, the agency's response was simple: no. So now Ryan and Blake are facing their own consistency test. If they pushed for accountability once, will people expect the same standard applied everywhere? That question isn't going away anytime soon.
In this case,
WME, which has represented the Oscar-winning actor since 2018, told Page Six Hollywood that he remains a client and that doesn't appear to be changing anytime soon.
And even away from the legal drama, the internet found something else to dissect. Emily Baldoni marked 13 years of marriage with a throwback photo, Justin lifting her into the air. A simple, sweet anniversary post. But some Blake Lively supporters claim the word lift was secretly a jab related to the "It Ends With Us" controversy. Others just saw it as what it looked like, a genuine tribute to her husband. Then Justin made a joke about ripping his pants while dancing at a wedding. Again, some tried to read hidden meaning into it. Others called it harmless. And supporters pointed out something interesting: Ryan and Blake have made plenty of playful public jokes over the years without this level of scrutiny. So is Justin being held to a different standard? That's the question a lot of people are asking. Meanwhile, the legal fight isn't over. Justin's team plans to appeal that $171,000 ruling, reportedly arguing that the New York Times acted with actual malice, and pushing to find out exactly how the paper obtained the information used in its reporting, including whether private messages were accessed before Blake ever filed her HR complaint. Critics have also questioned why the Times only issued a brief editor's note instead of a full correction. Since that original article came out, Justin has lost representation, lost projects, and lost real opportunities. So this appeal isn't just a legal formality, it could end up being one of the most important turning points in this entire saga. So here's my question for you: do you think this was a coordinated image campaign? Or are people reading too much into a few paparazzi photos? And when it comes to WME and Jared Leto, is this really about principle? Or is it just business? Let me know your take in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Amelia Brown, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next update on this story.